Good morning students. Today we will start a new chapter in history, which is chapter number 12, Independent India. So as we saw in the previous chapter that different political leaders contributed towards the freedom struggle of India, and India finally got independence from the British rule in the year 1947. But what happened that when the Britishers started to move out of India, they started a cabinet mission, and according to the cabinet mission, there were certain specific details that were to be discussed as a part of the plan of transferring the powers of rule from Britishers to India. Right? The Britishers started a cabinet mission in which some specific details were to be discussed regarding the transfer of power from the Britishers to India. How the different powers of rule were to be transferred from the Britishers to India, and this was to be discussed in the cabinet mission. But the Congress and the Muslim League did not agree upon certain details and certain terms and conditions of this proposal, and so they demanded for the partition of Pakistan and India. They demanded for an independent state of India, right? Indian Muslim League, because they could not agree upon certain terms and conditions of the proposal that was being sent by the Britishers, which was the cabinet mission, they did not agree on certain specific terms and conditions. Indian Muslim League and Congress could not agree on specific details regarding this proposal, so the Indian Muslim League started to demand for the independent nation of Pakistan. They started to demand the partition of Pakistan and an independent state to be established by the name of Pakistan, right? And this was happening in the year 1947. India got its independence in the year 1947, and just one day before of the day when India got its independence, which was the day of 15 August 1947, just a day earlier, Pakistan was formed. Just a day earlier, in which India got its independence. India got its independence on 15 August 1947, and just one day before that, the nation of Pakistan was formed. And who was the founder of Pakistan? Pakistan was founded by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who was also the leader of Muslim League. So what was happening as the partition of India was taking place? About 15 million refugees started to gather at the borders of Pakistan. They started to gather at the borders of new nation of Pakistan, and the provinces of Punjab and Bengal were also divided inside India. So what happened in the partition of India and Pakistan? 15 million refugees started to gather at the borders of Pakistan, or at the borders of the new nation of Pakistan, and in India also Punjab and Bengal were divided. The provinces of Punjab and Bengal were also divided, and different Nawabs were convinced to join new nation. The different Nawabs of the India were convinced to join the new nation of Pakistan. They were asked to join the new nation of Pakistan, right? And the population of India at the time of independence was 345 million, 345 million. There were certain problems that arise as the partition of India and Pakistan was taking place, and these problems were the problems of unity. That is, the people of India were now to be united into one nation. There were different religions, people of different religions were residing in India, such as the Sikhs, the Hindus, the Indian Muslims that did not go with the Muslims of Pakistan. They stayed in India, and they were also Parsis. So these people of different religions were to be united as a nation, and different people that were living in India also spoke different languages, different regional languages. They also followed different religions, and so these people had to be reunited again, right? And at the time of partition, there were many riots that were taking place. So the people of India were, fighting with each other. So there was also a problem of unity, right? And another problem that arose was providing jobs to the people of India. Because of these riots that were broke out in India, many people lost their lives, many people lost their businesses, many people lost their jobs. So they were also to be provided with jobs. And there was also a problem of development, that how we should plan the different developmental activities that were to be taken in this new nation. Different developmental activities that was to be taken in the new nation of India, right? And there was also a problem of rural economy, that is, the rural people of India that used to live in the villages were mostly dependent on agriculture, and if there was a very scarce rain, if the monsoon did not arrive in India at time and there was a very little rainfall, the crops were affected, the harvest was affected, and because of it, different industries that depended on that produce of agricultural activities were also affected. So there was also a problem of rural economy, because in India the monsoon season was very unpredictable. which affected not only the industries but also the people of rural areas and their livelihood. And there was another problem that there were many slums in which poor people were living. They were overcrowded, they were very congested, and therefore there were different health problems that were arising in India. And because these slums were occupied by poor people, there was also a problem of education. There was also a problem of education in this new nation. If we could just educate the people who were living in the slums, the slums could be decongested. Those people could be relocated to different areas of the country where they could find jobs if only they were educated, and if only they could move out of those slums, their health would also improve. So there were problems of education and health facilities also. These poor people could not be provided with proper education and the health facilities because of the conditions that were prevailing at the time of India and Pakistan partition. There was a long way that India had to cover in order to address all of these problems. There was also a problem of poverty. The population of India, because of the different riots, because of the different communal violence that took place in India, they also lost their livelihood, they lost their homes, they lost their properties, they lost their money, and so these people became very poor, right? Dislocated from their homes, so they also became very poor, right? And there was also a caste system prevalent in India. That is, the Indian society was divided into many different castes, such as the Dalits, the Shudras, the Vaishyas, and the Kshatriyas, and there was Brahmins as well, who were at the top of the hierarchy. And these low caste people, the Shudras, the low caste people, or the Dalits, used to face many types of atrocities. They had to suffer a lot because of this caste system. So there was also a need of abolishing this caste system. These were all the problems that were there when India and Pakistan partition was taking place. So these were the problems that were observed as the new nation of India was developing. As the new nation of India was formed after the partition of India and Pakistan, these were the problems that were observed by the different people of India, right? Then what happened when the partition of India and Pakistan took place? As the India and Pakistan was divided, what happened after that? The different communal violence activities took place in India, right? The people of Muslim community and the people of Hindu community started fighting with each other, and 1 million lives were lost because of this communal violence between the people of different communities. Because the people of different communities, the Hindus and Muslims, were involved in fighting and riots and communal violence, 1 million lives were lost after the partition. After the partition, 1 million lives were lost. Then, after the partition, many people blamed Mahatma Gandhi as the reason of India and Pakistan partition, and because of India and Pakistan partition, so many lives were lost, and so many people blamed this loss of life on Mahatma Gandhi, and Mahatma Gandhi was finally assassinated by Nathuram Godse on January 30, 1948. And the reason Nathuram Godse gave was because he thought that Mahatma Gandhi was responsible of the loss of so many lives and the partition of India and Pakistan. So Nathuram Godse blamed Mahatma Gandhi because of the India-Pakistan partition, and that's why he assassinated him on January 30, 1948. Then India got its own constitution. It got its own constitution. The constitution of India was drafted in different meetings that were held between December 1946 to November 1949. And these meetings which were held, in which the constitution was drafted, the various clauses of the Indian constitution, the different sections of Indian constitution were being drafted in the meetings of Constituent Assembly. The meetings that were there, the meetings that were held to decide the constitution of India were known as Constituent Assemblies. These assemblies held between December 1946 to November 14, 1949. And Indian constitution was enforced finally on 26 January 1950. The constitution of India was finally enforced. It finally became a law in 26 Jan 1950. Right? An important feature of this constitution of India was the universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise. And according to this universal adult franchise, all the people of India above the age of 21, above the age of 21 years, they could vote in the elections. The people of India above the age of 21 years were allowed to vote in the elections irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their caste, and irrespective of their religion or whatever community did they belong to. Right? So there was no discrimination, there was no caste division in the universal adult franchise, and all the people were above the age of 21 years were allowed to vote in the elections. Then the Sikhs, Christians, Parsis, Jains and Indian Muslims were all given equality. They were all, given the same rights as the Hindus of India. They were guaranteed equality by the Indian Constitution. And special privileges were also given to the poorest and disadvantaged section of the society. There was a section of society such as the Dalits, the Adivasis and the poor people who were to be given special privileges so that they could be uplifted in the society. So that these communities could be uplifted in the society, they were given special privileges in the form of reservations. They were given privileges in the form of reservations or quotas. They were given reservations in jobs or in educational institutions so that they could be uplifted in the society. The practice of untouchability was also prevalent in India before India got its own constitution, and this practice of untouchability was finally abolished after the enactment of constitution. This untouchability practice was abolished, and the Dalits and the low caste people could now enjoy the same rights as citizens of India, the other people of the community, that is the other citizens of India, right? Then another question arises that how the different governments were to govern the different states and the country itself. What would be the powers of the states and what would be the powers of the government, and what would happen if there was a conflict of interest, there was a conflict of power between the state, the district and the central government, right? So to address this problem, 3 lists of subjects were formulated. The first list was the union list, second one was the state list, and the third one was the concurrent list. And these lists listed the different areas of interest, the areas of power for the different types of government, such as the central government, the state government and the district government. And there was also a common list in which there were subjects that could be governed by, or that on which decisions could be taken by both the central government and the state government. See on page number 112, there is a picture of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and just above this picture is the paragraph, the constitution sought to balance these claims by providing 3 lists of subjects. And what were these 3 lists? Union list, state list and concurrent list. And what were the subjects of the union list? Union list used to deal with the taxes, the defense of the country and the foreign affairs. The union list had the subjects of taxes, defense and foreign affairs. And what were the subjects of the state list? The subjects of the state list were land revenue and law and order. These were the prime concerns of the state, right? So union list concerned with the responsibilities of the center, while the state list concerned with the responsibilities of the state. And the subjects of state list were land revenue and law and order. Land revenue and law and order. And what were the subjects of the concurrent list? The subjects of concurrent list were forest and agriculture, etc. There were many other subjects as well. This is not a full complete list. There are many other subjects that are included in these 3 lists, that is the concurrent, the state list and the union list, right? So concurrent list deals with the subjects that in which the center and state have joint responsibility, right? The concurrent list deals with the subjects in which the center and the state have joint responsibility.